Hello, Ron Briggs, Blackmore Vale Honey, and welcome to the July edition of my 1 year in beekeeping. Okay, so as I said to you the end of last month, we need to start thinking about winter. Now if you think about it though, we are only midway through the season. You know, it's the 1st of July today, so we've had April, May, June. Now we've still got July, August and September, although the end of the season is fast approaching. So I'm starting to think about things like that. So what I've got is I've got a nuke, which has got a new queen in it, and I've got a nuke, which the queen has failed. So rather than try to spend time at this moment in time getting that other nuke going, even though I have got queen rearing to go, is I'm going to merge those two together and make them a nice stronger colony. They should be in a full-size box then before we come to winter. But I've just been through the one that's queen right, and let me show you something I've never seen before. Okay, so there is a new queen in here and she is mated. In fact, she was the one that came from the when we did the split from the from one of the swarms within this apiary. If I just move these girls out of the way, I don't know if you can see it. If you can't, I will put a picture up as well. But can you see the egg laying pattern? Now I've seen it before with new virile queens where they'll put more than one egg in a cell. But some of these cells have got 10 eggs in, 15 eggs in. I've never seen that many eggs put into a cell. You do see quite a few eggs go in if they are laying workers, but not normally from a queen. You see one or two that will go in a cell from a new queen where she just, you know, she's just working flat out and solid. But I've never seen it like that before. So I don't know if you've seen that before. Put it in the comments and tell me what happened. So, like I said, we're getting this colony ready to merge. We're going to merge this colony with a nuke from the Out-apiary, which has failed to raise its queen. So we're just going to merge two together and make it a good strong box. So I don't know if you've ever done it with two nukes, but it's really straightforward. What you're going to need is these BS honeybee nukes are great for it if you've got the extension box. So extension box is an old queen excluder that I had that I just cut in half, literally, which fits over there, and newspaper over the top. So that's exactly the same principle as if we're merging two colonies normally. Okay, so we're back up today. If you remember, these are the two that we bought up the other evening. Well, we're going to put them into full-size colonies today. But I just wanted to show you this. I'm not going to give you too much detail, but I just wanted to show you this. It's an orchard as part of a manor house. So the reason I'm showing you this is because these places are out there. So if you haven't got anywhere to keep bees and you think that your own place isn't big enough, although do join an association and people there will be able to help you out and tell you. But these places are around, and you know, this guy's landed on his feet because he's got the use of the stables to store his kit. We're in the middle of an orchard, part of the beautiful gardens. We've got wildflower meadows and everything else. So yeah, really cool. So we're getting these into these full-size colonies today. Let's get on with it. So 2nd of July, and last week we put some bees back into the observation hive. So the colony we had in there before grew too big and we had to take them out, but they're a lovely colony. They're doing really, really well. These went in last week, and 3 days ago it was just, you probably can't see because of the reflection, it was just foundation. It's only on 2 frames. That's all I put in. I wanted to see how they would fare with just 2 frames. So we had a frame of brood in all stages and a frame of stores, and that's all we had. Now look, this colony has, this frame has been drawn out completely. We've got stores in there and we've got eggs in there. So I did see her in here yesterday, but she must be around the other side. So yeah, really pleased with that. That's going to be a waste of time for me again. Oh, look what's come along, wasps. I'm going to show you a new purchase. So I've made these. This is the second one I've made. It's a dolly. It's got the 4 wheels on it. It's just the right side. I've made it out of 2 bits of timber, 2 bits of I think it was 11mm ply. 2 bits of 11mm ply stuck together, varnished, put the wheels on it, and that's really cool. In the honey house, you put your supers on it and you can just wheel them around. So I think the wheels cost me, I think they cost me about 10 quid, I think, for the 4 wheels. Then you got the ply and you got the varnish. Well, today I was in the Lidl and they're selling these, which are heavy duty dollies. Now, not these I've made to the exact specifications of a national hive, as in, i.e. 46 centimetres square. This isn't 46 centimetres square, but it's long enough that way that it'll still do the job. And it was £9.99. So I thought, oh, we'll have one of those. So I guess the only difference is that's with varnish is really easily wiped clean, but I don't see why that should be a problem. So that was about 12 quid, something like that. And I had to make it and I had to varnish it. That was about 10 quid straight off the shelf. So yeah, that should do the job for me and it saved me a lot of work. Happy with that purchase. Right, welcome back. 2nd of July. Wasps are becoming a bit of an issue now. Well, they're not yet. There's only 1 or 2 around, but both my apiaries and around the house we've got wasps now. So I've made my wasp traps and we'll start getting those put out. So I've just made a separate video about how to make a wasp trap. So you might want to check that out. Hello, ladies. So in the nuke apiary today, we are literally looking for mated queens. That's what we're after, because they're all there or thereabouts now. That temperature's an awful lot better than what it has been of late. It's a few degrees cooler now. Plus, after I've done this one and that one over there, then we get into the shade, which is going to be lovely. Okay, so we've got the emerged queen cell in there. Okay. Right, so no signs of a mated queen in that one, or a virgin queen. No sign of any eggs. And it should have been now, and I'd have thought with the weather that we've been having, that there would be mated queens. It would be interesting to see in the other boxes, see how they're getting on. Lots of pollen stored. Nope. Okay, so we struck out on that one. Not the end of the world yet at the moment. Still got a couple of weeks before we need to start worrying. And then all we'll do, we'll merge him with one that has got a mated queen. Right. This one isn't from the damery. This was a little swarm that arrived up in the out-apiary, which we have put, brought down here, put in a nuke and brought down here. Okay. Plenty of stores in it. Nice lumps of honey. Right, what are you doing, girls? Drawn comb, nothing doing. Oh, we got plenty of eggs. Just goes to show when we're looking down on the top, you can see that. I could see how thick the stores were, but then when you look inside, it's actually doing what it's supposed to do, i.e. brood in the middle, stores around the outside. That's nice. Oh, and there she is actually. You're there for a minute, see if you can't see her. Might help you out this time. It's dark. That's nice. Good. So mated queen in there. Bit of space, which is good. Potentially got a home for you. Like that. They're really going to start taking off now. And that's what happens when you do your nukes. It reduces in bees in numbers, because by the very nature the flying bees have all gone, and you know they do reduce in numbers. But then all of a sudden they're in there now, for example, is 3 full frames of cat brood. So over the next a week, 2 weeks, all of a sudden there's going to be loads of bees in there. So no, pleased with that. That's good. So this one won't be going out for sale because this was the little swarm that arrived in the Out-apiary. So this one will stay with me until it's a bit bigger, and then when it's ready to go in a full-size colony, we'll take it back up to the Out-apiary. So that's cool, pleased with that. Right, let's go and have a look at these. So this is one of the apideas that had a mated queen in it the last time we looked. So what we're going to do is go through now, and we want to find them. We want to mark and clip her because we've got somewhere for her to go. So we've got eggs in here. And there she is. Oh, she's a nice looking one. Okay, now the only thing is when they are new, they can be a bit flighty and a bit tricky to catch. So you need to get in quick with confidence. In the front. Oh, missed her. It's the last thing you want to do. There she is. Put her in there. Hold her there. Job's a good one. So that's 2 that I've marked. I like the look of this one a lot better than do the other one. She's very small, that other one. But so what we need to do though, we're going to requeen that pink hive over at the Out-apiary. So what we'll do tomorrow, we'll come and collect one of these queens, probably the other one, because I'm going to try something that I've never tried before. And that is swap a queen over straight away. So we'll do it with that other queen, the one I don't like, just to see how it gets on. There she is, look. There she goes. Boom. Beautiful. Right, that's nice. Okay, so this is the second colony from the damery split, and it's looking okay. There's eggs. Literally any eggs though, so she has literally just come into lay, and we've seen the queen. I couldn't see eggs to start with. Then I saw the queen. She looked big, and she just had that. You can kind of tell the difference between virgins and mated queens. The mated ones, they look a bit bigger, and they kind of have that presence about them where they walk over the comb. They're kind of not flighty. You get that entourage of workers around her. So I thought she must be mated. So I've just been back through, and sure enough, there is some eggs in there, because I didn't see eggs the first time. So we've got a mated queen, literally 1-day-old eggs, 2-day-old eggs. So we're not even going to bother marking and clipping her just yet. We'll let her have another week. Plenty of space. So that's it. So that is the first. The bees on the comb are calm, but then they would be, because that damery was a calm colony. So these ones, I won't be using the queen to mate for overwintered nukes. That one up there we did the damery from, because I wanted to have a look at the daughters. So at the moment it's still looking good in there, obviously with the queen pheromone and everything else, but nukes can generally be much calmer. It's only when they get bigger. And also don't forget, they're not her offspring yet. So we need to wait. So it needs to be at least 3 weeks before her offspring starts emerging, and we'll see how it goes. So these probably go into a bigger box. We'll probably end up merging a few together. But these won't be our overwintered nukes. Okay, so that one over there, no queen, no eggs seen. This one we've seen queen and eggs. I'm gonna we're getting quite a few wasps now. So what I'm gonna do is reduce the entrance of this down a bit to just about bee space, help them defend it. And now we'll do the same with this in a minute. So we've got, there is some activity, both sides. Let's see what this is doing then. Look at that. Right, so we have got quite a bit more larvae in this one. Cool, look at that. Let me bring this over and show you. Look, already. Look at that. For a slab of stores. And then on this side, we've got stores, little bit of brood, and around that brood we've got pollen. That's nice. And we've got a bit of capped brood. That's interesting. So this one's obviously got mated well before the other ones have. Now what's interesting with these mini mating nukes, obviously now I've opened it up, you'd think, oh, they'll all be fighting. I've got them all fanning kind of this way and this way. I haven't looked in this one yet, but you'd think that these ones, now they're open, will come up and crawl across and maybe fight, but they're not. They're just all indicating. So if there's no sign of any queen in this one, all I'd have to do is remove the centre board, and that's it. They're merged. So actually, I've just worked out on the bottom of these Abello mini mating nukes, they've got those air vents which kind of sit below the floor, and that's what they've done there. They've built into that. And again, these need to go in a. So we've got eggs. We've got brood in all stages in this one, and there she is. Right, let's get you marked and clipped, I think. Good. Right, you've gone. So what we're going to do is we're going to reduce the entrance of this right down because of waspies. Right, let's have a look on this side. Now, this will be interesting. Okay, so we thought so last time. There's not a queen in this side. Definitely not. No sign of queen. Not as many bees. And if you think about the length of time it's been, I don't think there will be. So all we're simply going to do for the moment is pull that centre partition out and just let them merge together as one colony, because I think that's what they're doing anyway. There we go. Okay, so this was the mini mating nuke. We went through the first three. We found mated queen, plenty of eggs. In fact, we found sealed brood. So that is got to be what, at least 8 days old for it to be sealed, for it to be capped. And then in the next three on the other side, nothing, absolutely nothing in terms of queen or eggs or anything. And that was the same last week. So we've taken the what we've decided to do is just merge the two colonies. Now, when I was watching them, I was watching the bees all on the top, and they didn't seem to be fighting. They seemed to be checking each other out quite interestingly, but not actually fighting. So all I've simply done is remove the centre partition. So we'll let them get on with it. This side had hardly any space in at all. This side had plenty of space. And the other thing we've done on all our colonies in this apiary, we've already now reduced the size of the entrances down to help them fight against the wasps. Oh, the only thing I've done at the moment, even though I've merged them, I've not closed an entrance off. Still got two entrances, because what I'm going to do with this colony now is when I go up to the out-apiary this week, I'm going to close this up, take it to the out-apiary, put it in a nuke up in the out-apiary so they'll reorientate, and I'm going to leave it up there for 3 weeks, and then I shall decide whether I'm going to put it into a full-size colony or what we're going to do with it. So that will come with me up to the out-apiary later on in the week. Okay, so back in the new apiary, it's just, apart from the one in the corner of the show, which is the merge we did, and the one that had the Nasima, that should be completely done now. So we're getting a bottom box where, other than that, it's just weekly inspections. I've noticed the wasps up here are quite bad though, so we do need to bring a couple of wasp traps up here. There's 3 or 4 on that one, 3 or 4 on that one. Horrible creatures. Right, so smoke is lit. Let's get on with it. 2 nukes have merged together. So had a new laying queen in it, which came from the camouflage one over there when it swarmed, and then it had a failed nuke where the queen had failed to what's the name. So we're just going to go through this now. Oh yeah, they've gone through. Let me take a few frames out and you can see. I'm just taking all this out because I want to show you what they've done to that newspaper. Okay, so can you see what they've done, that newspaper, how they've chewed all the way through it? So that's now the colony merged. All we have to do, the top looked good, just go through the bottom, make sure it's queen right, make sure everything as it is, and then that'll be a successful merge. And then we can rearrange the frames accordingly. So it's 5th of July. We are back up at the out-apiary. Now, firstly, I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up or not. But it is just... See, I've said before, what they do here at this out-apiary is it's mainly... The main crop they grow, because they have pheasants and they have shoots, is corn. But when the corn's not on, they just put these wonderful cover crops on. So I've just driven up the lane, which is about a mile to get to here, and the hedgerows are just obviously full of blackberry, and so they're just alive with butterflies and bees. And then this field here, so can you see in amongst the corn, I don't know if you can pick it up, there's all the, well, you see the white ones, but there's more than one. I've seen 3 species of butterfly so far. And also, actually on the this yellow stuff, which is a mustard crop, and if you can pick up there, it's just alive with bees. So I don't think the flow's a problem at the moment. So starting on the end, we see bought some nukes up, and that's because this week we start our queen rearing. Don't need those nukes yet. Not going to need those till next week, but I think the way things are, I think I might be bringing up some more supers. So obviously, I'm not going to travel empty, so I've bought those up in anticipation. There's the little mini nuke, the little Abello mini mated nuke there, which I'll talk about when I come to it. And then it's just weekly inspection for most of these. Although I have selected now which one's going to be my breeder queen. In fact, it's going to be 2, and I'll explain that as we go. So one of them, which is not got a queen, which is hopelessly queenless, I ummed and ahed what to do. I was going to requeen. I was going to requeen from this period of queen rearing, but there's no brood in there at all. So there's a lot of bees, no brood, hopelessly queenless, and no brood whatsoever. So I have brought a queen with me today. She is in there. But I think what I'm going to do with that colony, I think I'm going to merge it with the one next door and just make a really big, strong colony just to end the season with. Because I can always split it in the spring again. So that's what we're going to do with that one. The pink one, which are a little bit spicy, if you remember. That's what I've bought that queen for. I'm going to try something today which I've never ever done before. Apparently you can remove a queen, and if you do it within an hour, you can put a queen straight back in again. Don't know how if that's going to work or not, but I've heard it from a number of different people, including my my tutor, my guru. So I'm going to have a go at that. Never done it. Fingers crossed. Let's hope that works. And some queen rearing. So the first thing I'm going to do today, well, first thing I'll do is get that mini mating nuke open. And then the second thing is the yellow hive, which had the carnelian in. We made that queenless last week. So we're going to go in there. We're going to make it hopelessly queenless. Just remove all the queen cells. And then what we're going to do, we're going to leave a space in the middle ready to accept the grafted queens, because the queen rearing we're going to do is grafting. Now, I will run a separate video completely on the queen rearing, on the grafting, but it's just so you're where I'm at. So today is not just going to be a run down the line. Today is going to be specifically targeting individual hives to get that done. And the only reason we're going to go into the hives this week, just to make sure they've got enough space, because I think there's a flow on. And looking at the front of these hives, I think they're all going to need another super. So I reckon I'll be having another trip up within the week. So let's go and light the smoker and get on with it. Okay, so the Abello mini mating nuke. What do I think of it so far? Rubbish? No, I don't at all. I like the frame system, but actually the frames themselves could also be really useful in queen rearing. You know, if you slip a couple of frames in and you get queen cells on both frames, that makes life really easy. Them, or just on one, you can put it together and put it into a hive. So that's quite useful. The actual setup and the design of it is brilliant. The way you can put 2 in there, it's in the middle of nowhere, this place. And we've got traffic. Be a tracker, let him go past. Okay, so as I was saying, like the design, like that it's 2 ways, like that it doesn't use a lot of bees, like it over a normal apiary, because the bees aren't wasted like they are in an apiary. Well, in an apiary you can use your bees all season if that's the way you're going to go, and there is ways to merge them back into a colony at the end of the season or when you need to. But this just makes life so much easier, 2 frames locked together. So from that point of view, it's good. A couple of things I've now decided that I don't like, and specifically when moving it, is that so the first thing is that there is no air vents in the door. The door's a good little design. It comes off, can go the other way. You can have it full or just with a little opening or the whole lot. But there's no holes in it. So there's no air vent that way. There's no air vents anywhere else. You know, like on the normal bellow stuff, you have those little plugs in the side that you can turn into air vents. And there's no air vent on the top. And also, because the thing's completely square, there's only air vents in the bottom. So if you put it on a flat surface, obviously they're not getting no air. It's fine if it's on a stand like this, but yeah, so if it's on a flat surface, no good. And likewise, when I was moving it today, when you're moving bees, you want air circulation. So there was none. So I've had to sort of prop it up on a couple of sticks before I strapped it, just so there was some air movement underneath. So anyway, hopefully they'll be all right. We'll find out in a minute. So the idea is that there was two, let's open it. As you're aware, you can get 2 colonies, which we tried. This was from that the Damari split, or the Damari split, depending which way you pronounce it. So you had the 2 entrances. I had one that way, one that way. One worked, give us a mated queen, and the other one didn't. So we ended up with just a colony that was lacking a bit. However, what I noticed was when I pulled it apart, there must be enough of the queen pheromone passing between the 2 that these were fine, because when I lifted it out, they'd made no attempt to fight whatsoever. So all I've done is remove the centre partition and made it 1 colony. Anyway, now this is too full. It needs to go in a bigger box. So that's now going to go into a full-size nuke, if you like, because this is only like 3 frames. So we'll put 3 frames in and another 3 frames, and we'll see how that goes for the season. And I've brought it up here to do it because of the 2 entrances, 1 each side. The bees were orientated to two different sides. So if I was just to do it in the same place, it'd make it a bit difficult. I want to take this up to the new apiary, which is less than 3 miles away. So I've brought it up here to the Out-apiary. We'll leave it up here for 3 weeks, and then we'll take it back to the new apiary. So all I'm going to do is swap that over. So another thing that I've literally just noticed in my area, I've got all my frames facing the same way. So, but actually you want them facing in reverse ways, because, you know, you try and keep the brood in the same pattern that was in. But what I'm having to do with this now is to now change this round to join it to the other one, which kind of upsets the apple cart a little bit. Doesn't matter too much, but it's worth doing these things right, isn't it? Okay, so this should, I bet this is a bit more difficult now though to put together. No, I thought that might be more difficult because of all the propolis and stuff that's in it. There she is. Do you want to play Spot the Queen? Okay, so let's be super careful with you then. Ooh. Okay, that's that done. See, 3 weeks we want them up here, so hopefully they won't fill this box up in 3 weeks. We'll judge it, then they can go back to the new apiary. So that's that job done. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, next job of the day then. This was the one that that had the carnodian in, and this the queen is now in my observation hive, doing really, really well. So we did that a week ago. So what we need to do now is remove all the queen cells from here and make it hopelessly queenless, leave a gap in the middle, ready to accept the frame that we're going to put in a bit. So because it's backwards and forwards, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the supers off and I'm going to put them to one side and seal it off. So I've got a roof and a bit of a floor there, because I don't want it to be robbed, just whilst we're doing this manipulation. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Now, this is important. We made a queenless last week. We're making them hopelessly queenless. We need to shake every single frame. Doesn't need to be a massive frame, shake, you don't have to get every bee off. But what you do need to do for sure is absolutely make sure that there's no queen cells hiding. You've got to get every one, otherwise the system won't work. And just repeating what I've repeated once before, said once before. Don't forget, they choose eggs, or well, it's 4 days old. 4 days old from when she lays the egg to when it's the young larvae, which is the ideal size for them to start queen rearing. So if you noticed, all these cells are all sealed because, you know, it takes 8 days to seal a cell, but we're already 4 days in. So you do need to bear that in mind. Just saying, you can't knock queen cells down and think, oh, that's be all right, I'll come back next week, because it won't. You've only got about, well, 4 days, 3 days, 4 days maximum. Okay, so this frame's got no brood or anything on it. There's lots of nurse bees, so you can come off. So that's the frame we're going to remove to leave space for putting that the frame that we're going to put in. So they'll hide them anywhere. I've seen queen cells right in the middle of a frame of stores right on the front entrance. So been through the lot, removed queen cells, and I've got to leave space in the middle. But before I do that, I'm literally going to go back through them all again. We just need to make sure we've got every single one of them. So instead of just sliding the frames forward, I'm going to place them back. Now, what I quite often do is use colonies that are a little bit spicy as my cell raiser colonies, because spicy colonies are normally good producers of honey, and they're really productive and they grow really big. And then what it means is you can leave a queen cell in there once you've finished, because the only problem is you have to do this. So, you know, doing this with a spicy colony is not that nice, but it does save time and make a difference. Good. And you need checking. Look, right on the very last frame. Queen cell. Good job he came back through again. Ah, lucky. So what we'll do is we'll leave a big space to put that frame in. Okay, smoke these down. Okay, so let's move on to the next stage. So that colony there was, we removed the queen last week. It's hopelessly queenless. We've just removed every queen cell, and we have checked and double checked. There is no queen cells in there, and we've left a space ready to accept the frame that we're going to use. So let's go and have a little look at the next part we're going to do then. So the way we're going to queen rear this year is through some grafting. Started grafting last year, which is the first time I've done it. It's all down to experience, isn't it? We had some results, which was good. So this year we're going for it proper. And as I say, I'm doing a separate video on queen rearing, so I will explain all that in that video. Okay, so as this is grafting then, what we've got is we've got a frame there with a number of cells in it, and we are going to put our larva in there, our 4-day-old bee, if you like. So from egg to 4 days goes in there, or young larvae. That's what we're looking for. Don't know if I'm going to be able to show you that on a camera, but basically it's the size of a comma. So if you think you've got 3 days as an egg, and then it's that 4th day when it suddenly turns to a little larva, and you can just see it as a little larva. So the thing you desperately need to be able to do that is something to see with. Now, my eyes aren't what they used to be, so I have got some glasses. These are quite cool. They've got different size lenses you can put on them. This one works for me for working at the right level, and it's got a light on it, so I can actually see in the frames. Okay, so a little summary of what's gone on there then. What you saw me doing, that's two different queens that we're going to raise from. We've taken very, very young larvae, we've put them into the into that frame, and the frame's now gone into the raiser colony. We leave that now minimum 4 days, then we can come back and check how many have been taken, because that way, if there's not many, we can plan we can plan another session and we've still got time for that. Right, let's go and change this queen in the not so nice colony. Okay, old queen has been dispatched. So new queen's going on. Now, a lot of time these, they don't like it. These colonies that are a bit spicy don't like new queens. They like to raise their own. But we'll see. You know, if we don't try these things, we'll never know, will we? So now they're getting interested. We want to see, are they turning their abdomens round to try and sting her? Or are they just accepting her? More and more are coming on now, look. Now they're getting the scent of her. Yeah, putting their abdomens in at the moment, aren't they? They're not trying to feed her, that's for sure. Actually, they're not full on trying to ball her. It's really interested. Okay, so what we do, put that in there like that. Let's get rid of that. And we're just going to drop that in there like that. Right. We'll come back in a few days' time and see how that's getting on. Okay, so interestingly, I was expecting today to be panicking a little bit about supers, because although I left the super on top of every single one, or they had super or whatever last week, it seems to be the bees seem to be really busy, really active, so I thought there was a flow on. They've not really done much in a week. Some of them have had to add a super to, but not as much as I thought they were going to. Not that that's a drama. And I think probably what it is because we've had such a long dry spell. There's no, the plants and flowers and everything need the rain and need the moisture. And that's what the bees going for. So there's loads of pollen, which is good for the queen rearing, but there's next to no water in there. So I think that's probably what the problem is. So tomorrow is forecast rain all day, and then nothing again on the horizons. It's probably not going to be enough, but it'll be interesting to see what happens next week with those supers. I'll bring some more up anyway, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So back up at the association apiary for a couple of hours this morning, because we have still got a bit of a flow on here and we've run out of supers. And what we normally do with the students on a wet weather day, we'll get them to make some frames up. But this year we have not had a wet weather Saturday, so we have completely run out of supers now. So we've got to put some frames together. So that's what we're doing today. We got ourselves a little party, little party of frame makers. So that's going to keep us busy for a couple of hours this morning, and there's rain on the forecast, which I think we need, so that's good. Right, let's get on with it. Hello, 7th of July, we are back up at the Out-apiary. We're not doing much today. All we're doing in the Out-apiary is checking that pink hive to see how the queen's got on. So what I'm going to do there is go through it to make sure there's no queen cells, see how they're treating her, and then maybe pop the cap so they can, the slow release caps. We'll have a look at that. And we're going to have a look at the razor colony that's got the cells in, just to see how many, if any, have taken, just so I can make a plan then for later in the week whether I need to do some more. So smoker's lit, which is good. Interestingly, a lot of the posts are saying that the season's pretty much finished for them. They're out of, it's over, they're not bringing any more nectar, and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's been one of those years, and it started early, it could finish early. In this area, on the south coast in Dorset, I don't think the flow's over. They are still bringing it in, but I think the problem here is we've not had enough rain, because I think, obviously the plants need the water in order to produce the nectar. We've got blackberry that's still in bud. I was driving up the lane just now and there's willow herb out, which the bees and the butterflies were on. So I think there's still food out there for them. I just don't think we've had the rain. And here, and you've got to be careful what you wish for, haven't you? I know some parts of the country have had some horrendous weather, like a month's rain in a couple of days, which is, I feel sorry for you. Here we've had 3 days of rain, Saturday, Sunday and yesterday, but the problem is just wasn't much. It was all just showers. The ground has literally just dried up now, so hopefully they might have got something from that, the flowers, because there's no rain now on the forecast for another couple of weeks, which is a shame. So I think it could be the end of our season, or getting near the end of our season. Not so much because there isn't enough forage, but because we just haven't had the water. Anyway, let's see what these look like. You watch this, look. These girls here, they're feeding her. Look, they're not trying to arch their bums to kill her, they're just feeding her. So what I'm going to do, just for the, just say I've done it, just for the experience, if you like, we're going to let her out. We're not going to let them chew her, and we'll put her on a frame and see what they do. So stand by. There she is, look. Look, she's getting that entourage of bees around her. They're not balling her. They're feeding her. That's good. Did you see that? I don't know if you can see that. They're actually feeding her there, which is nice. They're all coming to see her. Have a look in this as well, look, where she was. They've all dived in there, look. So I guess the thing is then, well, we'll let the cat out of the bag now. Let's we'll come back in later in the week and see what's happening. Although that is really, really encouraging. Good. Okay, on to this one then. So this is the razor colony. So again, it's been 3 days. So they were hopelessly queen this. So we should see how many have been accepted, if any at all. Okay, we've got 2, which is, at least we got some. You can see that. We've got one, we've got one here, there, and we've got one here. And they are practically sealed. 2 is better than nothing. So exactly that then. So what we'll do, we'll come back up here at the end of the week as part of our weekly inspection, and we'll take those 2 away and put them in the incubator, and then we'll go again, because this colony is still hopelessly queenless. And we'll do exactly the same. And interesting, I don't know if you saw that, it's 1 on each row, so that's 1 from each colony that we're raising queens from. So so that's 2, and then we'll have another go this week. So there we go then. Sorry, I've still got my Vale up. I've got a rogue one that's pinging me, which I think has come from the pink one, the one that we've just requeened, because it's been around my face ever since I finished there. So I'll leave my Vale up just in case. So the breeder colony, we've been in there. We've got 2 queen cells, and they're almost capped, but they're still slightly open, because if you think about it, we put those in 3 days ago. So those cells are already 2 to 3 days old. So they're now at kind of 6-7 days old. So they will be capped today, tomorrow, maybe the next day. So it's Monday today. We'll come back up here Thursday or Friday, and we'll take those 2 cells away. We can't do it today because it needs to be, the bees are still in and out feeding and tending to them at the moment. So the moment that's sealed, we'll take that home and we'll put them in the incubator, those 2, and then we'll have another go at another complete run of 20 from those same 2 colonies. So that's that done, and then all we need to do now then is I need to, for those 2, because they're going to emerge by next week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up 2 nukes for them from a couple of these apiaries. A couple of these colonies. We'll just set up 2 nukes, which is going to be emerging brood stores. That's it, or brood in all stages, should I say. So we'll make those 2 up, because we need to make sure they're hopelessly queenless before we put the virgins in. So we'll make those up, we'll take those nukes home so they can go to the nuke yard, and we'll take those 2 queen cells with us, and we'll have another go at raising. And it'll be interesting to come back and see if that queen's been properly accepted into the pink hive. Right, time for a coffee. Hello, 10th of July, it's a Thursday, and we're up at the new apiary. and the temperature for the next 2 days is going to get up to possibly in its 30s. So again, we're up early. It's already 19 degrees. All the bees are flying. It's not even 8 o'clock yet, but as you can see, like I've said before, this new apiary is in the shade. So you're just about in the sunshine and that one's in the sunshine. So we'll whip round, get all these checked, just weekly inspection. And if there's anything of interest, I will show you. The only thing at the moment I've got of interest to show you is my new camera. So after borrowing a friend of mine's GoPro, I've decided it was a really good tool and it's something we should be doing to improve the quality of our videos. So we've got the DJI Action 4, which I think will be perfect for my needs and what we're doing. Done the inspection on this one, fine, absolutely doing really, really well. It's the Carnolian that we split a while back. Yeah, nice big full box of bees. So that's and that's what will defend against wasps, because this apiary is starting to get a bit hammered with wasps. So a couple of things I've done. First of all, I have put the entrance block in. I've not put it in all the way because it was completely open. I've just put the one in, so they've still got the main section in the middle. This one, because it's a strong colony, doesn't appear to be struggling with wasps at the moment, but that can all change. So we've got that in, they've still got plenty of space, and we'll do the same for the rest of them. And the other thing is, on these bellows, you can get these just air vent ones. Let's get myself out of the way. As opposed to the full ones. Well, since I've been here, the wasps have been hanging around that something crazy, and I'm in two minds what to do at the moment. I've got spare ones of these, got one in my pocket. Do I swap it over to stop them, or do I allow them to go there, because all the time they're there, they're not round the front? And the other thing we've done is we've got our wasp traps out. So remember the jar traps I was on about? You can see them in there. So she who must be obeyed, my missus, has said to me, the jar traps are so much better than the bottle traps, after I made a video on the bottle traps. So the jars I've got at home are literally full of wasps, and my bottle trap's got next to nothing in it. And let's have a look at my bottle trap here. Oh, 2 wasps compared to that many. Told the boss about that last night, and she just sat there with a smug grin on her face. So maybe that's the way to go then, people. Old jam jar, leave it dirty on the inside tracks, and put some water in the bottom, drop of washing up liquid just to break the surface tension. I've just got 4 6mm holes in the top there, and it seems to be working a treat. But yeah, don't forget, if your apiaries are getting hammered, then it is time to bring in the wasp traps. So one other thing you can do if wasps are starting to batter an apiary is keep your inspections as brief as you possibly can. You still need to do your weekly inspections, although this time of year we shouldn't be worrying about swarming too much, and certainly the way the conditions are. So we haven't, it can be, don't have to be rushed, but it just needs to be a quick, methodic inspection. Don't worry about seeing the queen. All you want to see is some eggs in there. Once you've seen some eggs and you know they've got some space for laying up, although they probably won't be doing much laying up for the brood at the moment. They start to cut that down a bit, but once, just make sure they've got space for brood, space for stores, and be as brief as you can, because the wasp will hammer them whilst you're doing an inspection. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by a swift inspection. So all I've done is taken these boxes off. These are above the queen excluders. Didn't need to go through this one. Can feel the weight of it. Can see inside. Can see there's a couple of empty frames this side. In fact, there's 2, and it's quite light on this side. So they've got space to lay. They've got space for their stores, and they've got this whole box. So that's good. So we get this queen excluder off. Right, so I've got a full box of bees. I'm going to go into the first one. It's an empty, it's just a frame, so we know they've got space already. We might push that further in if we need to. And again, another one that's just a frame. Right, okay, so we're looking for our first frame of brood. Is going to be it? Yep, that's got some brood, and that's got eggs. So that's got brood, it's got eggs, and there's my queen. I'm not looking for my queen, but there she is. The blue's worn off. But I've got eggs, that's all I need to worry about. So let's put you in there. We're going to skip the next two because that's the start of the brood. We just want to see how big the brood is at the moment. Just make sure we don't crush that queen on there. And we'll have a quick look at the next one. Smoke if we need to. Look at the next one. Brood in all stages, or a lot of sealed brood. So I'm going to skip the next two. And now I can see down through there that that's just drawn comb. What's the next one then? And the next one has got, oh yeah, because we split it up, didn't we? And the next one's got brood on it. And the one behind that is just stores. So, forgetting that one, just make sure that they're not honey bound on here. Yep, brood. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 frames of brood. We've got the queen because we see her, although I wasn't necessarily looking for her. Got eggs and we've got brood in all stages. We've got space for her to lay, plenty of space for her to lay. And I'll take you back off there again, please. Thank you. And we've got plenty of space for stores. That's it. End of inspection. Oh, the other thing you can do is when I lifted this up, the weight was all at the front. So all I've done is I've spun the box, because what they'll do, they'll start to chimney, so they're going to store it all at the front. So all I've done is spun the box so that the empty frames are now at the front, and make it easier for them to lay in. Oh, and I did swap that out for a solid one. Good, job done. Right, I just wanted to show you this. So this was the half brood, and remember this is the one I said I'm not going to use a queen excluder because this one is pretty much stuffed with stores. So the one that's on top of this has got a lot of stores in it. A lot of it's sealed and capped over stores, but this one is actually rammed, and I've just been through it just because it's obviously something we're looking at. And the two frames in the middle are the only two frames that have got anything in them other than nectar, and that is, I just think you see on the bottom there, they've just got a bit of pollen on them, and that's right above the younger part of the brood nest below. And again with that one's got a bit more, just a little bit of pollen, and all the rest of it's good. So when I went through the bottom box, I didn't see the queen, wasn't looking for her, but we had eggs, brood in all stages, plenty of space for her to lay up if she wants to. And then in this top box, that's absolutely, that one isn't, that's the only one that I've got in there. They've drawn it a little bit, but it's the only one that I've got in there that's just foundation. Right, so thought you might want to see an update with these girls. So this was the colony that had Nasima, if you remember, and we've Bailey comb changed it, and it's took us a good, I don't know, sort of 6 weeks in total, I suppose. No, probably a bit less than that. But look at that, that's just now a nice box of bees. So what we'll do, I don't think we're going to need a super on it yet, but we'll go through and check. But what I am going to do, if not this time, I'll see what I've got in the truck. Next time we'll take another sample of bees and we'll see how they're getting on for Nasima. So back up at the Out-apiary, I decided to come this afternoon, so I did the other 2 apiaries this morning, working on the theory that the sun would be off the hives by now, but it's not quite. It's kind of getting there, but it isn't quite. Another half an hour would have done it. Unfortunately, I haven't got that sort of time because I've got to be somewhere later. So hopefully though, by the time we go through our inspections and we get to doing the queen rearing part of it, we'll be in the shade. Then if you can see out there, much more yellow, that's that it's charlock, and it is absolutely awash with the bees. Now the only thing with the charlock is I got a feeling it's one of those plants that's quite heavy on the grain, granulated. So that's not a drama, because what I shall do is I shall leave, when I put the next supers on, which is about now, I shall put those on under super, and then I can take the top ones off later in this month, knowing that that's summer runny honey, and then if the bottom ones are a bit granulated, that's not the end of the world. Okay, hope you can see this all right. So we got, as I said in the week, we've got two cells, that's all. But all we need to do with this is, I have my little box of tricks here. You see that? And so what we're going to do is we're going to take those two, because these two are going to go to the back home and go in the incubator. So they just literally pull out, and then we need to keep them upright the right way. So we just pop it in there like that, and that'll do it. Perfect. Right in there until we get them home and put them in the incubator. It's not like it's cold. Cool. Now all we got to do is replace some of the caps. Like that, of each colour. Right, go and get some queens and do some grafting again. Two. Two. Now, as I said last time, it's not the heat that's a problem, it's them drying out. So we're just going to put that over the frame like that for the moment. I'll keep it damp whilst we go and put that frame back and get the next one. Okay, here we go again then. Now, trying to be a bit cute this time. Hive 1 should have raised a queen by now. And looking at it, there's nothing in there to suggest to me that it's got a queen, and it should have had by now. But so we do the old put in a frame of eggs and young larvae. So this frame that we've taken out of 8 to do some grafting with, once we've finished, we'll put it back into 1. So we'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That's the plan anyway. Let's get on with it. New foundation or new frames are harder to work with than old ones, because the wax is still quite soft. So yeah, if you're not careful, your grafting tool goes straight through the bottom and not round the corner. Good. Right. So, important thing now is to get this one back in first, before these all dry up. So, let's go do that. Okay, so here, this is the, remember we delivered 2 colonies, and in its beautiful orchard and its beautiful grounds and everything else. So You know, the way I like to do things, because we often spoke about it, is I like to deliver them in the week, you know, after dark, after all the forage is about, leave them in their nuke box, open the entrance, come back at the weekend with the customer or a few days later, and transfer them into their hive. And this is why I like to do it. I like to do it this way because the one on the left was fine, queen right, brooding all stages, and actually that's on a super now, so that's doing really, really well because we're 2 weeks after. But the one that we were going to put on the other side, no queen in a queen cell. So I would imagine, even though I checked it 4 days before I brought it out, probably my fault, I've probably squished the queen and killed the queen. So that's it. So that nuke can now no longer be sold to that person. So all it meant was we just left the hive there. I've got him another one. We bought it up. I swapped the 2 boxes over. That was Thursday this week. And now we've come back today and we've put that right for them. So it means that the customer is actually getting it right, because if it's a new beekeeper and they was to suddenly open that box, they might think it's all right until, you know, a few weeks down the line when things start to change a little bit. So that's why I like to deliver my colonies, make sure everything's good, make sure the customer's happy, make sure I'm happy before they take on the colony. So there we go. So that's it. I think we'll call it a day there. That concludes July part 1. Again, it's been busy. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you're getting something from it, and we'll see you later on in July.